Okay, good day everyone. So the previous group have talked about the formal education and non-formal education. So ngayon naman, we will going to discuss what is all about the informal education. Okay, so ang informal education, medyo same lang sila sa non-formal education. Ang pinagkaiba lang nila is sa non-formal education, the learning is structured. Samantalang sa informal education, learning is unstructured. Okay, informal education. From the word itself, informal, meaning to say unofficial style, manner, or nature. It has a friendly or relaxed quality, meaning to say casual learning lang. Okay, so let us define what is informal education. So according to Rivera 2021, it is a form of asynchronous learning that is out of curriculum and doesn't follow a structured method. Kapag sinabi natin na asynchronous learning kasi, it means learning does not take place at the same time and at the same place. In simple words, pwede tayong matuto anytime, anywhere, at our own pace. It is out of curriculum and doesn't follow a structured method. Kapag informal education kasi, it is, sinabi ko kanina, it is a unstructured learning. So, there is no syllabus, program of activities, schedule, or systematic teaching methods or fixed plan na sinusunod. It is a spontaneous learning style that is driven by the learner's curiosity, motivation, objectives, and passion. When we say spontaneous learning style, it means it is a voluntary learning. It is not planned. Curiosity. Okay, so I'll set my pamangkin as an example. Sa bahay kasi kapag ako ay nagbabasa or nagsusulat ng lectures, napapakinggan ko siya nakausap yung Google. Tinatanong-tanong niya yung Google. What will happen if the moon will come closer to the earth? Sinasabi niya ganun sa Google or, Google, what will happen if World War III happens? Google, is Alexa alive? Yun, curiosity. Yung kung ano yung gusto natin na malaman. It is, tinatanong natin yung Google or nagtatanong tayo sa mga atin natin, sa parents natin, o sa ibang tao tungkol sa mga naiisip natin na gusto natin na magkaroon ng kasagutan. Okay, so ano nga ba ang characteristics of informal education? First, no hard and fast rules. Since learning does not take place inside the school, there is no rules. So, kapag informal education, ang tatandaan natin, learning is unorganized. Next, implicit. In informal education, teaching does not need to be explicit, but rather implicit. Meaning, you are the one to find out the meaning or the lessons. For example, yung mga sinishare or yung mga napapakinggan natin na experiences or stories ng ibang tao. Kung ano yung lesson doon, tayo ang bahala na mag-a-apply doon sa ating buhay. Next, provides practical knowledge. We acquire knowledge from our day-to-day experiences, which leads us to the better understanding of life, problems, situations, or topic. We acquire knowledge that we could also apply or use on our daily life. And next, accessible anytime, anywhere. We learn anytime, anywhere, kahit nasa loob tayo ng bahay, nasa labas ng bahay, umaga, gabi, hating gabi, kung anong gusto natin na oras, pwede tayong mag-aral anywhere where we have interaction with other people. Next, no prescribed procedures. Since it has no curriculum, yung nabanggit ko kanina, it has no curriculum na sinusunod, there is also no procedures to follow in learning. We have, again, the freedom to choose what we want to learn through interaction, reading, or watching, or kahit anong forms of learning man yan. And lastly, does not end. So, education or learning continues throughout one's life. Ito ay panghabang buhay hanggang sa ikaw ay mamatay. Nag-aaral ka pa din ng nag-aaral. Through the experiences, number one, experiences, or through the shared ideas or knowledge of other people. So, informal education, it is a continuous and lifelong learning. Okay, so let us always remember na kapag informal education, it is not only about the knowledge being shared by other people, but also about the experiences, our own experiences or experiences of other people that is being shared to us. Okay, so here are some examples of informal education.
So ayun, na-discuss nga sa atin ng iba't ibang uri ng education. First was the formal education, next was the informal education, and lastly was the non-formal education. So, i-discuss ko naman sa inyo ngayon ang comparison ng tatlo. Meaning to say, isa-summary ko lang yung mga sinabi ng mga previous reporters. But please bear with me kasi masyadong maingay yung likod ko kasi may mga batang naglalaro. Let's start first for the time. The time for formal education is restricted. Bakit restricted? Kasi meron po siyang fina-follow na time zone, which is it will start from kinder to college. Sa informal education naman, it's a lifelong process of education. Next was the non-formal, which is a continuous process of education. Next naman is the scope. The scope of formal education is limited. Bakit nga ba siya tinawag natin na limited? Limited kasi meron po siyang fina-follow na curriculum and syllabus. Next was the informal education, which is a vast type of education. Ang scope po nito ay malawak. Sobrang lawak ng scope po ng informal education. While sa non-formal education naman is, it is vast. Meaning to say, meron po siyang fina-follow na iisang scope. Next was the agency. Ang agency po ng formal education is the university, college, and school. Sa informal education naman is anywhere. Pwede sa bahay, sa church, sa temple, kahit saan. Sa playground, pwede rin. Formal education, ang agency po neto is structured organizations. Aim. Ano nga ba yung aim ng tatlong education na to? First was the formal education. Ang aim po nila is intellectual development of a man. Formal education naman is mas binuboost nila, mas nag-focus sila sa pagiging practicality ng isang tao. Next was the non-formal education, which is, it is an all-around type of development. Meaning to say, it depends to you as a person kung ano gusto mong i-develop. So, sa curriculum naman tayo. Sa formal education, ayun nga nasabi ko kanina, meron siyang fixed syllabus and curriculum. So, meron silang fina-follow na syllabus and curriculum. Sa informal education naman, nasabi nga ng aking kapwa ka-reporter na wala siyang fina-follow na syllabus or curriculum kasi nga, ang aim po niya is the practicality of the person. So, next was the non-formal education. Meron po siyang fina-follow na base syllabus. Next was rules. Rules. What's the rules of formal education? It has a fixed rules and regulations. Meaning to say, pag sinabi ng school na to na gawin mo to, na sundin mo to, you need to do that. Pati yung teacher, kung may sinabi siya na ganyan, ganito, may instruction siya na sinabi niyang, please sit tight, ganun. Kailangan mo siyang sundin kasi meron yung silang fixed rules and regulations. In informal education naman, wala. There's none. Wala kang fina-follow na rules or regulations kasi nga, this type of education can be learned anywhere. Lastly was the non-formal education, which is, yung rules neto is flexible lang. Why flexible? Kasi nga, ang nakafocus etong education na to sa capacity ng person. Next was the source. The source of formal education is trained teachers. For example, science. Dapat trained siya dun sa subject na yon. Dapat alam niya yung scope ng subject na yon. Next was the informal. This type of education can be taught by anyone. nanay mo, pastor, your teacher, then peers, kaibigan mo. Next was the non-formal education. The source of this non-formal education is an experienced teacher. So yun, that's for my report. Thank you.